I find there's an omission in all the discussion of Leo's accomplishments.
Okay, good. Sure. Thank you.
We've heard, of course, and as an academic I can't help regarding the research on mechanisms design, and of course his teaching as the most important matters. But the world does consider political activity also as important. We've heard from a congressman friend here about the importance of some of Leo's roles, but one of the most important, the most successful political step he's done was not mentioned. I refer to Andreas Papandreou, who should be mentioned here. Leo, of course, was friendly with Andreas when he was a colleague here at Minnesota. I subsequently came to know him when he was chairman of the department at Berkeley and in Greece. In 1967, as many of you will remember, Andreas was arrested there was a coup by the colonels. Not the generals were somehow not involved in this, it was the colonels who took over the Greek government and drove out the politicians, including Andreas' father, and arrested Andreas. And of course, we had every reason to believe that his life was in very grave danger, and I think indeed it was. So this is it's not a joke. This is a serious matter. Immediately, Leo got on the phone. He must have been on the phone 24 hours a day, as far as I can make out. I would hear from him once or twice every day, and he was calling about 50 other people at the same time. And we were starting we had a telephone campaign to bring it to get officials at every level in Washington involved. I remember some poor assistant secretary for Middle Eastern affairs, or whatever exactly his scope was, Luke Battle, if I remember his name correctly. Am I right, Leo?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Some name like that, if I won't get it, who indicated rather clearly that he had been getting lots and lots of calls, all driven by Leo, who was the center of this academic network pushing for for his life, for his safety and life. In the end, he finally managed to reach the highest levels. This was, I think, via Ken Galbraith, who got in touch, although he was already a critic of the war, not friendly with Lyndon Johnson at this point, nevertheless knew plenty of people, including Joseph Califano, the president, some of you may remember the name, President Johnson's aide, and later Secretary of whatever it was. I've forgotten now. He was in a cabinet position later. Johnson was in Germany attending Adenauer's funeral, came back, and immediately went to a diplomatic reception. Califano caught him on the floor of the reception and told him the great concern that Leo Hurwitz and a whole academic contingent were zealous about worrying about Andreas Papandreou's life. To which President Johnson, some of you may have heard this, replied, "Okay, you tell those bastards to lay off that son of a bitch, whatever his name is." That was Leo's greatest triumph in the political sphere.